So let me tell you this story. Someone will say even a fable. So I think this was the first video of my channel, if not one of my first videos of this channel, where I talk about Mythos, Anthropic's chatbot LLM called Mythos. That they said they were it's able to hack everything, to destroy everything, basically, And the story went that someone working on Anthropic and say, "Oh my God, it's almost like it's alive, like it has consciousness," and that they it was going to destroy the everything, And they gave it to some companies to test this out because they say, "Hey, we still want to release this deadly thing," and that it's definitely going to destroy the it's going to um sorry, my bad, that it's going to destroy everything, the internet, every server, every country, whatever, and they gave it to some companies. Now, this is interesting because many in this conversation, when I was looking around, people were saying why, and honestly, like, why would you want to release this, you know because the idea was, hey, we gave this to these companies to test this out, and then um, we're going to release it to the public. Why would you do that? And my other question, like, I don't know the story, the official story that I heard. They never said the government. Um, Apparently they gave it to the government also. My question is, why you didn't give that to every single government in the planet? I wonder why. So yeah, that happened. And why would you do that? Why would you release that if you have this that is so dangerous, as you say? Why would you make it public? Like, I was thinking that yesterday, and I think the best analog is if tomorrow a company say we're going to release a bottom that is going to give every single person in the planet extreme diarrhea. So we are going to give this bottom to every single company to see how they will not have that much diarrhea. But then we are going to make this public to everyone, so everyone can press it, and so everyone can have extreme diarrhea. Why would you do that? Yeah, the thing is, like, even though that happened, time months went away, nothing really came from it. Yeah, that's it. Honestly, like, we haven't heard too much. And for example, myself, while researching for this video, many people were talking about how dangerous and how big this thing is, but no one had really too much access to it, in my original video, where I first talk about mythos, I bring up this article from 2019 that says that OpenAI says that ChatGPT 2 is so dangerous that we like the same basic story. Given that my analysis of the situation is it's only marketing, and I still stand on this. That is marketing. I heard a big analysis about this, that it was maybe possibly not the thing that they were saying it is. For example, many of these chatbots has a filter, some keywords, some things that they simply cannot do. It's like a filter for social media, like if you write, for example, "I am sad" in Pinterest, you say, "Hey, please check your mental health," for example. Or if I post things that are against the rules of YouTube, my video will be immediately flagged and my channel will be immediately deleted. That's the situation we are talking about. So many people were saying that, hey, maybe is that it's a regular a regular chatbot, the only difference being that it doesn't have those restrictions. It doesn't have a filter. It doesn't have any security, um, nothing. That it's funny because Mythos, in theory, is for security, to have secure servers and all that, Um, well, that was the initial idea, all that. Um, I still think that the theory of cloud is simply no Mythos is simply Cloud 5. That's it. Anyway, so um, a few days come by and they release Fable. Fable basically is like the watered down version of Mythos, and yeah, basically it says it's mostly Mythos, but with more restrictions and with less and we did without the risk of Mythos because Mythos is so powerful, so wonderful, whatever. I watch some people use it, but people say, hey, it's not so different to ChatGPT 5, for example. In the case of coding, it's not that different. Like it still has the same problems. That yeah, the if you see the face value, it looks great, but if you actually see the code, it's it's messy. It's non-functional. That was the case until the United States come and says, "Hey, we are going to force you to shut down Fable and to shut down Cloud 5." I think this is interesting because how much Anthropic CEO, has talked about AI. So something have said about Cloud is the bastard son of OpenAI. And Dario, I think that's his name, Dario, the CEO of Anthropic, he was a member of OpenAI. He, the story is apparently the CEO of OpenAI before Sam Altman. We are going to see that in the next Andrew Garfield video. Andrew Garfield movie. It's going to be about that. He said, "Oh no, this CEO is too dangerous for him to have access to AI." So he did some shenanigans. Sam Altman get in the power of OpenAI. He became a CEO. The CEO of Anthropic so I said, "No, Sam is too dangerous. He's not the man to hold Open AI." So he left OpenAI and created Anthropic to rival OpenAI. That's the thing. And I have said he's the bastard son and also he's the reactionary son of OpenAI. If OpenAI goes left, they goes right. They know they cannot compete in the market of chatbots, so they go directly with companies. In the case of AI and the AI perception into society, the idea is, um, well, yeah, like in the easy story that Sam Altman and all these other companies have said of AI is going to replace your work, it's going to replace everything, it's going to be the new in whatever, and it's going to be really risky, that it's going to be sentient, AI, all that stuff, And Anthropic has positioned itself, at least their messaging is to say, hey, actually, I want restrictions. Actually, I want the government to regulate me because they are not regulating no one. I want them. Please regulate me. Please, government. Please, governments, regulate me. For example, they said that every single chatbot that releases should be tested by the whole world in an exam to show how dangerous, how conscious, how big, how powerful they are, and so they can behave. The whole idea of let let's make AI work for us, not slave us, basically. Another thing he has said is, um, for example, this Anthropic calls for global AI freeze, saying it's simply too dangerous. The Pope Leon W. Pope, by the way, he recently make a full text, say like the name was like Humanidad Gloriosa or Humanidad Magnifica, something like that, in Italian, of course. Um, Basically saying that, hey, please don't make Skynet, so AI doesn't kill us all. Basically, he has refused to make every single AI people, including Elon Musk and whatever, except the CEO of Anthropic, because the CEO of Anthropic is saying all this stuff of AI regulations, whatever. So guess what? He says all that. He says, oh, he's LARPing, saying, oh, I want AI regulations, please, please, that the government regulate me, please, please, please. And then the government regulate him. Then the government calls him and say, hey, shut down Fable, shut down Mythos. And now he's mad. He say, hey, I want regulations, but not against me. I want regulations, but not like this. So OpenAI right and Anthropic right now is sorry, Anthropic is forced um, to block to stop working in how do you say it? Stop working in Fable and Mythos. The story goes that someone, a boss of, I don't know if it's the CEO of Amazon, I don't know, someone in Amazon called the government, say, hey, we found a way to access Mythos through Fable, and then higher up in the White House, maybe Trump directly, made the call to shut down Fable and Mythos. The thing is like the whole. I wanted to make a full video about how all this Anthropic presenting themselves as the most humane AI company, and honestly, this is the perfect story because they really don't mean it. They know they're just saying words for PR. That's it. Like they don't really want regulations. They don't really want anything about this. If they, for example, if they truly think that AI is so dangerous, so whatever, so big, so like a godlike, whatever, and it's too dangerous and it's not and we are not able to control it, well, you will stop making this. You will stop developing the thing you are telling it's going to kill us all. The the button that's going to give us all extreme diarrhea, and use that money to try to prevent this. Go to with legislation, because I see many many companies, many these companies giving money to governments and to lawmakers to try to prevent AI regulations. And Anthropic is one of these people. So of course it's just words. And Anthropic is like, well, if we complain too much of the situation, we will show ourselves that yeah, we are just like the same girls. And it's interesting because this whole all these things happen before they go public in a few months. And we're going to talk about that in a few videos in the line. Um, some people say that this is just a power grab, a power thing. In the case of Anthropic has this had this problem with the U.S. government, the whole thing about they don't wanting to make weapons and mass surveillance with their technology. So there is something about that also. And honestly, like maybe it's like maybe it's just like someone in the government being mad, their ego being broken that make this decision. Who knows? But for now, these two things um, are forced to not be worked on. And Anthropic is forced to follow their line. Anyways, that's it. Bye bye.